major shocks and surprises over in the Africa Cup of Nations over in Cameroon, with some of the big boys going home. That's right. Who's going to be close to the silverware? We'll take a little look. Once again, another prediction video today. We look forward to match day number, what is it, the quarterfinals, that's right, of the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations out in Cameroon, and we'll get to that in just one second. If you're new, where you been? Smash your subscribe to keep my update, all things Africa related, Blabbing Rovers related, world football related. We got it all here, boys, under one roofski. Goodness gracious me, where do we begin? And of course, the tournament that keeps on giving surprise after surprise. Of course, Equatorial Guinea ousted Malawi this past match today, of course, and of course, Ivory Coast did crash out at the expense of Egypt. Of course, say goodbye to the Super Eagles. They're gone as well. Gambia are also through. Goodness gracious me, where do the surprises end? Do they end here? Of course, will there be some in the quarterfinal stage? We'll look at all of it in a minute. Of course, big shout out to my VIPs, they're the Patreons, boys. Of course, respect to you guys to support the channel. And of course, if you want to help us out, check out the link down below, patreon.com/Roverseas. But anyway, let's get into it. Of course, recap the last matches, of course, which were the quarterfinal, which was the last 16 stage. Of course, kicking on forward to the quarterfinals. So let's remind ourselves of the nations that made up, of course, the last 16, of course. Some surprises, of course, and some big boys going through to the knockout stages. But, of course, Burkina Faso picked up a cheeky win over Gambon in the end with a 2-1 win. Actually, of course, that was my pick, actually. It was a 1-1 draw after full time, and the penalties was needed in the end. Goodbye to the Super Eagles. We already said that. 2-0 win for Nigeria was my pick, but unfortunately, they crashed out to Tunisia. 1-0 win for them to see them go out. Meanwhile, Senegal against Cape Verde was a 1-0 win in my eyes. In fact, it was a 2-0 win for Senegal. Of course, a couple of late goals in that one to get them over the line in the end. Another, of course, they keep on surprising us. Equatorial Guinea with the 1-0 win over Mali. I actually went with the 1-0. That was a 1-0 win for me. Of course, it went. I actually predicted them, which was, of course, it does. They went through on penalties in the end. 0-0 was the final score on that one. Meanwhile, Guinea against Gambia and my Blackburn Rovers connection there. Of course, they had the ex-Rovers player Cape Verde as the manager for Guinea, but of course, he's gone home. Gambia, though, with Mo Barrow still in the mix, of course, after beating Guinea with a 1-0 win in the end. Cameroon, no questions, no problems there. For Cameroon, they won 2-1 in the end to go through. Ivory Coast, of course, they were my pick to go the distance. Of course, they have the most difficult way to the final, but unfortunately, they couldn't beat Egypt in the end. Penalties. Eric Bailly has had his vital penalty kick saved in the end to see them go crashing out. And of course, Egypt keep on marching through. And of course, Morocco had a scare against Malawi. Of course, 3-0 was my pick, but it was 2-1 win in the end. That's of course the state of play for those games. Let's take a little look at, of course, the Prediction League right here, right now for the Africa Cup of Nations. So here is the state of play in the Prediction League, coming at you any second now. There it is. Goodness, there it is. There it is. Of course, these are the guys that won last time around. Jimmy Watton, of course, and James Specificity are great. Picking up 5 out of 8 there. Not too shabby. Of course, the overall grand scheme of things, though, looks like this. Take a bloody bow. Whoa, is there a glitch in the system? No, there it is. JSPCFC are great. Of course, 22 points on the board so far. Kevin and Sheridan are in second spot with 21. Of course, it is free to enter. So, get yourselves in amongst it. Of course, the link is down below. So, we are now left with these 8 nations, of course, to duke it out to see who becomes King of Africa over in the world of football there. We've got Burkina Faso that we're taking on Tunisia. We've got Senegal taking on Equatorial Guinea. That appears to be the weaker side of the bracket, where, of course, Gambia up against the host Cameroon. They'll fancy their chances in Egypt up against Morocco. But of course, it will all kick off first and foremost with Burkina Faso up against Tunisia. Let's just take a look at this one then, shall we? Of course, locking horns on the 29th of January, the Monday at Junior Stadium. Played 3 times in 2008, these two nations. 2 was Burkina Faso, no was Tunisia, and 1 draw. Just 1 defeat the past 6 games for Burkina Faso. 58% form for them right now up against the Tunisia side, who have won 2 of the last 3. In fact, 3 wins and 3 defeats the past 6 games for them. Last time the picture was, in fact, in the quarterfinals in the Africa Cup of Nations back in 2017. Guess what? Was a 2-0 win for Burkina Faso. Last celebration, though, in Tunisia, doesn't really matter. It was a 2-1 win for Burkina Faso as well. So Burkina Faso got the better of Tunisia in, of course, according to the history books as well. Burkina Faso coming under this on the back of the penalty win over Gabon. Of course, they had their Group A for their journey. Of course, losing on opening day to Cameroon, but since then they've never looked back. Meanwhile, Tunisia, of course, had a relatively easier group. However, they did lose, of course, to Mali on opening day. Of course, they still 2 representatives of their respectable group, themselves and Gambia, but of course can Tunisia go the distance? Of course, well, first and foremost, get past Burkina Faso in the meantime. Let's take a look at the odds on this one. 12-5 is your Burkina Faso, 9-5 is your draw, 7-5 is of course your Tunisia on this one. Quite tight this one, and it could go either way, could very much so either way. Burkina Faso, for me, have grown in this tournament. I think they're going to nick this one with a bit of surprise and of course get to the semi-finals. I am going to go with, believe it or not, a 2-1 win from Burkina Faso to go through, knocking out Tunisia at the quarter-final stage. Kicking on forward, what else do we have? We of course got Senegal taking on Equatorial Guinea. Now bear with me on this one. I think I'm trying to line that one up right here, right now. It is taking place on the 30th of January, of course, at the Stade Omnisport di Dadoula. Of course, played each other 3 times, 2012, 2 with Senegal, 1 for Equatorial Guinea, and no draws. Of course, Senegal, they're winning unbeaten in the last 10 games, picking up 3 wins in the past 6. Anyway, 75% form. Up against Equatorial Guinea, who've won 3 on the spin, just 1 defeat at the past 6 games, 75% form for them right now. Their biggest win over Senegal was a 2-1 win. The biggest win the other way was a 3-0 win. Of course, last time played was a 1-0 win for Senegal way back in, of course, November 2018 Africa Cup of Nations qualifying campaign. Meanwhile, Senegal took care of business at Cape Verde and yet to concede a goal in this tournament. Meanwhile, Equatorial Guinea also, in the grand scheme of things, they've only conceded the 1 goal so far this tournament. That was against Ivory Coast in the opening day. Of course, take a look at the odds on this one. I don't actually have odds, or do I have basic odds? Do I have any basic odds on this one? I don't have any odds. So my odds are in my gut. And I'd love to say Equatorial Guinea to go through on this one, but I cannot see it. I actually favour Senegal to go quite deep in this tournament and possibly go to the final as well. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for Senegal on this one. Equatorial Guinea will give them a bit of a fright, but unfortunately at the end it won't be good enough. Kicking on forward though, let's take a look at Gambia. They're going to be taking on the host Cameroon. That's of course on the 29th of January 2022 at the Olembe Stadium. Now these two sides played each other 2 times, 2015. Nothing for Gambia, 2 wins for Cameroon, and of course no draws. Gambia though unbeaten the last 4, 58% form up against Cameroon side who haven't lost in the last 8. In fact, they won 5 of the past 6, 92% form for them right now. Last round, of course, they played each other. Was a 2-0 win for Cameroon. That was back in September 2016. That was an Africa Cup of Nations qualifying campaign. That was, of course, they were paired up in Group M. Meanwhile, Guinea did lose to Gambia last round. Gambia picking up 3 1-0 wins on their journey to this quarter-final. Of course, their only hiccup was a draw against Mali, of course. Mali. That was a 1-1 draw in the end. So just 1 goal conceded by Guinea. So Gambia heading into this one. Meanwhile, Cameroon coming to this on the back of a 2-1 win over Comoros. They did draw with Cape Verde as well. Also picking up a 4-1 win over Ethiopia and a 2-1 win over Burkina Faso. They have conceded goals in each and every one of their games. Is that going to be a problem for them heading into an awkward game up against Gambia? Let's take a look at the odds on this one. I do have sort of odds. 7-1 is your Gambia, 2-1 on is your Cameroon, and 40-5 is your draw. I'd love to back Cameroon. I mean, Gambia on this one. I really would. I really would love to see them go through at the expense of Cameroon, but I can't see it. And I'm going to go with my common sense here. My common sense says Cameroon to take this one. I've actually gone with a cheeky, if not impressive, 3-1 win for Cameroon over Gambia. Send, of course, the surprise package Gambia out at this stage. And then finally, of course, we've got the final one here. Will be Egypt up against Morocco. That's, of course, taking place on the 30th of Jan as well. Now, this game will take place at the Stade Amadou Ajada, of course, played 2 times in 2006, these 2 nations. Of course, Egypt picking up a win, and Morocco yet to get a win. Of course, there's been 1 draw as well. Egypt winning 3 on the spin for them right now, up against Morocco, so I haven't lost in the last 4. In fact, just 1 defeat past 6 games, so 75% form as well. Last time played, there was a 1-0 win for Egypt. That was back in, of course, January 2017. It was in the quarter-final stage of the Africa Cup of Nations. Will of lightning strike twice. In fact, at the past 2 games, Egypt have not conceded a goal against Morocco. Meanwhile, speaking of having conceded a goal, they've they conceded just 1 goal in the tournament. That was against the Super Eagles way back, and of course match number 1 in the tournament. Meanwhile, Morocco coming to this also pretty tight defence. However, been a bit wild the past couple of games, conceding 3 goals in just 2 matches. Of course, they did beat Malawi to get to the stage. Also drawn with Gambon in their group. Also picking up wins against Comoros and Ghana as well. It seems like a lifetime ago since they were in the tournament. Of course, look at the odds. I don't have any odds. The odds are in my gut. My gut's going to go with, of course, I'm going to go with an Egypt win here. They have the best player in the tournament by a distance, and that is, of course, Mo Salah. So I think he will be the difference maker here with a 1-0 win for Egypt to get them up, or set them up, of course, for a semi-final. But of course, who will they play? Well, here he goes. Here's my breakdown of it. We're going to have, of course, Burkina Faso taking on Senegal in the top end of the bracket. Meanwhile, Cameroon, the host, taking on Egypt. I think, are they defending champions? Of course, in the end, to set up a bit of a zinger chicken dinner in the end. That's, of course, my take on it. Get involved with your predictions, of course. Cutley /AFCON 2022, and I'll see hope to see you back for the return leg, which will be the semi-finals. Of course, be sure to give us some love and smash your thumbs up, smash your subscribe. Check this down below. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Twitch, I'm on Facebook, but I'm also on Patreon. But until then, boys, I'll see you soon for the quarters. Until then, we're done for now.